A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 276. In the previous episode, Han Li faced overwhelming danger as the blood barriers trapped cultivators, while the sacred bird unleashed waves of powerful azure fire. Amid the chaos, Silvermoon appeared to assist him, carrying lightning beads in a desperate attempt to rescue the captives. Tian Zhang and the mysterious azure doppelganger only added to the mounting threat, while the battle raged on with no clear advantage. At the end of the previous episode, 2 legendary Yin Yang corpse devils were released from their ancient coffins. Though they appeared as a young man and woman, their lifeless eyes and aura of decay sent shivers through everyone nearby, signaling a dramatic and terrifying turn in the war. What will happen next? Stay tuned. And the story continues. The Yin Yang Devils turned their gaze and suddenly stood side by side before turning into a gust of green wind. A rotting stench left in their wake. It appeared they were heading in the direction of the Moulan Sacred Bird. The cultivators watching from a distance immediately exhaled in relief. Their tension slightly eased, feeling far more confident with these blood-sucking monsters moving ahead of them. Although the green winds surrounding the corpse devils seemed to move sluggishly at first, in reality, they were astonishingly fast. In a blink of an eye, the devils had traveled halfway across the battlefield and gradually disappeared from sight. Several cultivators could hardly hide their astonishment and instinctively turned their attention to the draped-haired old man controlling the 2 corpses. He remained perfectly calm, an expression of total composure on his face, and this reassured many onlookers who had been holding their breath. On the other side of the battlefield, the huge azure bird floated with majesty, calmly releasing streams of demon fire to suppress the 7 Great Truths Cultivators. This bird was extraordinary, able to absorb the spiritual energy from the surrounding 5 kilometers without drawing upon its own reserves. It transformed this spiritual energy into blazing azure demon fire, growing more powerful as time passed. This was the very difference between a cultivator in the deity transformation stage and one below it. A reason why those at the deity transformation stage could sweep across the heavenly south with impunity. Initially, the 7 Great Truths Cultivators had struggled to restrain the Moulan Sacred Bird using only their magical treasures. But as the battle prolonged, their devil isolating formation was broken, and trapped flames escaped, forcing them to devote every ounce of strength just to survive. Suddenly, the demon bird paused, tilting its head as though sensing a change in the battlefield. With a piercing cry, it spread its vast wings, summoning a glowing azure ring of light that expanded outward to cover more than 300 meters. Within the ring, a faint green smoke appeared, almost imperceptible at first, and then the Yin Yang Devils emerged, their concealment broken. The 2 devils shrieked harshly, their forms transforming instantly. Red hair framed their green-skinned faces as their bodies grew to a terrifying height of 6 meters. Their fingers trembled and launched dozens of gray light threads toward the huge bird. The azure bird screeched in fury at the assault. It opened its massive beak and expelled a pillar of azure flame, spreading its wings to enshroud its body in a storm of fire, generating a 40-meter-tall wave of blazing azure energy aimed directly at the 2 devils. Yet through some unknown technique, the Yin Yang Devils unleashed threads of undead energy, allowing them to endure the demon flames and continue their relentless assault. With the sacred bird momentarily distracted, the 7 Great Truths Cultivators seized the opportunity to rally their magical treasures, channeling their combined power to press their attack once more. Just as this renewed effort unfolded, the 2 corpse devils flashed with gray light and darted behind the enormous bird, weaving past the sea of flames, heading straight toward the ancient lanterns stationed nearby. Spell Warrior La, observing the devils maneuver, calmly struck one lantern with a spell seal. In response, the lanterns ignited, sending embers spiraling and merging into 9 small azure firebirds. These firebirds spread their wings and intercepted the advancing Yin Yang Devils. A fierce clash ensued, with gray undead energy dripping from the devils' mouths. Their fingers morphed into razor-sharp claws, tearing through the firebirds, each strike accompanied by pulsing gray light. In that brief moment of distraction, the huge bird turned its head, unleashing a massive azure cloud from its mouth. The cloud engulfed the two Yin Yang Devils, trapping them in another torrent of demon fire. The Seven Great Truths Cultivators' hearts sank as they witnessed the devils caught in the flames, powerless to intervene. From a distance, the shriveled old spell warrior observed with a small smile, speaking quickly to the black-robed woman nearby. The woman's gaze shifted to the battlefield, noting that both spell warriors and cultivators alike were beginning to show signs of exhaustion. With a subtle motion of her lips, she issued a command. A squad of black-robed men emerged from the spell warrior camp. Moving in a straight line, each carried 7 bulging pouches at their waist. The woman then spat forth a small, exquisite flag, barely 2 inches in size. It glowed with a faint black light and expanded rapidly in the air to 3 meters. Coldly pointing at a magical treasure, the woman sent the flag streaking across the sky. Moments later, the battlefield was enveloped in a black wind. Dark clouds spread across the sky, cloaking the area in shadow. The cultivators looked up in alarm as black-robed men released the pouches. Dense black fog and eerie winds poured forth, quickly covering the land with a sinister mist. Within the mist, vague silhouettes began to emerge, scales glinting in the dim light as though armored troops had appeared. As the fog cleared, the horrifying truth became apparent: fleshless corpses clad in copper armor. Many thousands of them walked forward, their eyes glowed green, fangs bared, and their cultivation levels ranged from foundation establishment to 3 powerful core formation corpse lords with visible intelligence in their shifting eyes. A cultivator behind Long Han gasped in disbelief. Copper-armored corpses, how can there be so many of them? Long Han replied coldly, "It is nothing. With a devilish sect from the Jin Empire assisting them, this is to be expected. At the start of the battle, this would have been no concern. But now, after exhausting ourselves against the spell warriors, these armored corpses will easily overwhelm us. All we can do is attempt to fight them head-on." A bitter understanding passed among the others. Retreat or offense seemed futile, as spell warriors could unleash reserves at any moment, leaving them little hope. The sounds of the ongoing battle above, between the 3 great heavenly south cultivators and the Moulan sages, remained distant and undecided. No aid could be relied upon. Suddenly, the battlefield erupted with explosive howls. A beam of silver light cut through the chaos as a massive beast appeared, a 70-meter-tall ape. Its fur black and sharp like arrowheads, eyes glowing crimson like molten fire, and its grotesque nose adding to its fearsome appearance. The ape roared, pounding its chest and smashing the ground with enormous fists, charging toward the nearest group of copper-armored corpses. The corpses unleashed black threads of energy, attempting to engulf the ape in a dense cloud of undead chi. Even a nascent soul cultivator would struggle against such an assault. Yet the huge ape did not retreat. It inhaled sharply, exhaling dense yellow energy from its nostrils. The yellow cloud swept across the black mist, absorbing the undead chi into the ape's massive body. Slowly, the refined corpses fell one by one, reverting to ordinary lifeless forms as the ape's yellow light continued to sweep across the battlefield. Hundreds of refined corpses were cleared with relentless efficiency. Even the 3 core formation corpse lords faltered, fear and hesitation reflected in their eyes. Both armies paused in awe at the ape's unparalleled might. The black-robed woman, visibly shocked, spoke hurriedly to the shriveled old man before streaking toward the ape with a 10-meter-long purple blade of light formed in her hand. As she struck, thunder cracked, and silver light illuminated the sky. A young azure-robed cultivator suddenly appeared atop the massive ape's shoulder, erecting a shimmering blue shield. The purple blade collided with the shield in a blinding clash of light. The youth glanced at the black-robed woman indifferently and asked aloud, "A devil cultivator?" He then twisted his hands, summoning arcs of golden lightning of varying sizes around him. The golden arcs danced across his body, emitting a dazzling, blinding light. Han Li had appeared. In this episode, we saw the Yin Yang Devils confronting the Moulan Sacred Bird while the Seven Great Truths Cultivators struggled to hold their ground. The battlefield became even more chaotic as the black-robed woman unleashed thousands of copper-armored corpses, threatening to overwhelm the exhausted cultivators. Just when it seemed hopeless, A massive 70-meter-tall ape appeared, effortlessly dispersing the undead forces with its incredible power. And finally, Han Li made his dramatic entrance, appearing atop the ape with golden lightning crackling around him, ready to turn the tide of battle. What happens next? Stay tuned for the next episode of Immortal's journey to immortality. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications for the latest episodes of Han Li's journey. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.